Well, howdy, y'all. Erik and Edward Dunn together again live, this time in Nashville, Tennessee, as we promised. Falls Count Anywhere, episode 10, Nash-ville. See if we can figure out why we did that this week. Thanks to our production man behind the booth, behind the glass, somewhere doing something fun for us, Ron Rigo, Round Broadcasting. Welcome to the show, everybody. Falls Count Anywhere. Send it over to Erik to say hello. How are you feeling on this vacation? How you doing today?
We're hanging in there. Uh, and yes, we both are actually on vacation this weekend in Nashville. We actually have a lot of things that we have planned over the next couple of days before we fly back home. Um, so far, the city, it's definitely a very interesting city, not one that I've experienced in a while, and it's definitely a once in a lifetime experience. Hopefully, we'll both get a chance to do this more often. But we've got a lot of stuff to carry in when it comes to AEW. The fact that we were at Collision, and we have a lot to break in. And then with All In also down in London coming up soon, and for just WWE, we're getting close to payback in 2.5 weeks. There's a lot to carry in. But of course, unfortunately, we do have some sad news that that we found out earlier today that Hall of Famer Terry Funk unfortunately died at 79 years old. He was a huge part of AEW, but when it came to the big development behind the scenes, he was a WCW, ECW original, helped WWE back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Definitely a really tough loss and a really sad loss.
I can't help but know that Ron's somewhere in the background. I can't see his image on screen right now, but he's muted and absolutely laughing his rear end off because I threw it to you to say hello, tell me how you're doing, and again to tell her you stole the intro again and set up the agenda.
Well, that wasn't the
They're
intro.
Just giving it back to me like you're supposed to do.
No.
This was a learning experience, a teaching moment, as well as have a good time talking about wrestling and production. So, unfortunately, Erik just let go of the reins, and that's okay.
Stop it.
Because we'll teach him how to share, and we'll play that game along as we go. And
Erik the Hun, what? hey.
We're going to make a new history character. All right, so you know what? I'm in a charitable mood today, so we're going to do something a little bit different. For all of these small businesses out there, and this could be nationwide, doesn't have to be Rhode Island, without Googling it, guess the player who wore number 5 for the Patriots that's on the back of my jersey. And if we get the answer before the end of the episode, not from Ron and not from anybody Googling, it is a 5. This might look like a 2 to you because of the camera angle. But
yeah, there you go.
5. I would turn it out and put it on inside out, but then you'd see the name on the back, so that's not going to work. But it's number 5, so figure out who it was and throw me the answer, and we'll see if first company or person that does that has a small business, we'll give you a free advertising promo and a free shout-out courtesy of Falls Count Anywhere and our corporate sponsor, Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island and Road to Love Wedding Services.
Oh, yeah.
Into AEW, and let's talk about Collision. First of all, let's talk about the part of Collision that nobody else saw. Because when the lights went off, we were given the opportunity to see a whole slew of Ring of Honor before they leave for Wembley. They recorded this coming Friday's Rampage. So we're not going to tell you what happened because you'll see that on Friday night. But that's recorded now before they go to London because right now they're already there setting up.
Yeah, they are.
There might be a live Wednesday in Dynamite's live tonight in Duluth, Georgia, but then they're probably giving minimal talent and sending everybody else off to London to get a big show. So we'll see how that all works. But Collision overall was an awesome night for us because we went there to go see it live. We sat in the front row. But knowing that All In's coming up on Sunday, there weren't going to be any title changes. There weren't going to be any major things to happen that's going to get you all excited about it because it's
I think my dad might have froze on camera there.
Challenge. I didn't agree. There was supposed to be a match with Samoa Joe starting things off, and they never even introduced the conquistador that was there
jobber
waiting for the match that we're thinking is just some jobber guy. And before the bell could ring, we learned really quickly by the moves that person made. He took his mask off, and it was CM Punk. grabbed the microphone and said, "I accept." Biatch dropped the microphone on him, and out the door he went. That was probably the highlight of Collision.
Yeah, I agree.
Excited to see Orange Cassidy continue to defend his title, which was good. Juice Robinson and the Guns came out, expected to win. They did. Absolute Ricky Starks couldn't wrestle again, but he brought out Big Bill. Of course, that was going to be an easy one. Diamante versus Nightingale was a good match to watch. She got her revenge on Diamante, which was nice. And Kevin Hugh was chanted by the fans, knowing he had no chance against Powerhouse Hobbs, just to have some fun in the audience. That was fun to watch back, listening to all the things we were.
And just for you guys to know, on the side note, Orange Cassidy actually did not defend his title.
At the end, Darby Allin did get the win, and Luchasaurus did get tossed out, then came back to the ring and beat up on Darby, and that was how we thought it went off the air, and that's how the show ended. But as I said, we got a lot more that happened at Collision than.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 more hours of Ring of Honor and then the taped Rampage. And by the time we left the Rupp Arena at midnight.
Yeah, we left at midnight Eastern time, and we still didn't have any opportunity for a break. And it was really funny because
there wasn't a break. There wasn't a break. It was still going on. I bet it was on until 1 a.m. I mean,
5 is AEW, and let's talk about what we think is going to happen tonight. We see 9 things happening on the card. Now they just added a 10th in the last few minutes, so that's a good thing. We have the Elite versus Juice Robinson and the Guns. That'll be a match that sets things up for Wembley All In. Swerve Strickland and AR Fox going to take on Darby Allin and Nick Wayne. The Aussie Open against the Hardys for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. This could be the Hardys' last match, or it could be the beginning of a new tag team genre. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
Sky Blue versus Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho's going to win that one easily. John Moxley versus Ray Phoenix. Who cares? Moxley's going to destroy him. Contract signing of Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay will be interesting to have happen. MJF will be live talking with Renee Paquette, as will Adam Cole, but they won't be in action. Nope. FTR and the Young Bucks will have a face-to-face interview as they get ready for All In, and Jack Perry retires the FTW Championship. So the only significant thing really that's happening tonight is the chance that the Hardys could win the tag titles against Aussie Open. I don't think Aussie Open has a match yet at Wembley. And just jumping ahead to look ahead to see that. No, they don't. So this could be a – I'm sorry. Nope, they are. They're going to be going up against Adam Cole and MJF for the tag team championships. So you know that they're not going to lose their match tonight, but they could lose by disqualification. Anything could happen. We're not completely sure. So let's jump all in to All In at Wembley, Eric, and let's take a look at the card together. And let's see if our predictions will match the end result of the show or match each other. We'll start with the bottom up, and we'll leave MJF and Adam Cole out till we get to the end. Stadium Stampede, we're going to have Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, and the Lucha Brothers going up against Blackpool Combat Club and 2 mystery partners that we will find out tonight at Dynamite. With or without the mystery partners, I can't see Best Friends winning a match. It could be Eddie Kingston doing something again to save Moxley from something bad happening that Mox doesn't care. I think BBC gets the win. What do you think?
Yep. Next.
BBC.
I agree.
All right, next. Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay. No title involved. This is just grudge match that they want to have with a couple of Canucks to figure out what it feels like in England to fight. Jericho's trying to make a name for himself going on his own.
Yeah, impossible.
Will he put Will Ospreay over, or will Ospreay get the win over Jericho?
I mean, Jericho hasn't done anything by himself since he came to AEW when it was created 4.5 years ago almost. I mean, he hasn't done anything by himself. He's not going to do anything on his own.
All right, so I'm going to make the prediction that straight up, Ospreay gets the W over Jericho, and he rethinks what he wants to do with himself. Sure. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jericho will win if and only if Sammy Guevara comes down and does something to save him, because he's been helping him the last couple of weeks when stuff goes down, though the JAS has walked away. So that'll be my prediction on that one. Let's go over to the real World Championship. CM Punk and Samoa Joe, who is carrying, I believe, the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yeah, the Ring of Honor TV title. Yep.
CM Punk's carrying around his AEW World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is a unification match. I think it's a double title winner take all. Who gets the end result in this one?
Honestly, I think Punk will take this because, for those that have been following him, when he got hurt and he had to have surgery and then he got suspended because of his brawl with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, he was still in possession of that title. He never lost it. They had to find a new champion because he was out for 9 months. I think he's wanting to make a statement and say, I'm the real champion. You want this from me and you want me out of here? Get me out of here. Do something. I don't think Joe's going to be that guy to do something because they've got a long history, as we all know. I think Punk's going to ride this wave, and I think they're going to keep him with it. I don't think Tony's going to take this off him. I can't see it.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Punk has gone with MJF numerous times. They both have the title. They haven't had a unification match. They haven't had a let's see who the real world champion is, but each time they've interacted, MJF has gotten the better of Punk.
Sure.
If Punk beats Samoa Joe, then why couldn't he get the number of MJF? I think Joe wins this match, and no matter what happens next with MJF and Adam Cole, CM Punk gets his shot at unifying the titles, because I don't think this match is title for title.
No.
I think this is just a match. So it doesn't matter who wins.
No, this match is for CM Punk's AEW title. This is for CM Punk's title. If Joe wins, he becomes AEW World Champion.
Okay, so Joe doesn't lose his title, but Punk will lose his.
Yes, it will.
Okay, then I'm gonna say this one's not going to end with a pinfall. It's going to end with a disqualification of some kind or a count out, and they're both going to keep.
I would say count out
because I think Punk's going to have to go after whoever wins between Cole and MJF to unify those two titles to figure out who the real AEW World Champion is. And Joe's just got a grudge match with Punk because of how long he's been in the wrestling business with Punk, and in that case, Joe could lose and Punk could keep his title.
Right.
So there's nothing to risk for Joe. So I don't think anybody loses their titles. Trios match: Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi takes on Konosuke Takeshita, Jay White, and Juice Robinson.
So basically, it's the Bullet Club versus the Elite.
Yep.
Well, I mean, for what we saw on Collision, I mean, I think this could go either way. But if Kenny's got the momentum on his side, I mean, it's going to take a lot for the Elite to try to take him and the Young Bucks out of there. I mean, they've been running this thing since they got here, so I mean, it's not going to be easy. I don't see Kenny and Bucks losing this unless something drastic were to happen with the Elite, where they could just stomp all over them and jump over them on the ladder. But yeah, I don't think the Elite's going to get this one.
Did you say you think or you don't think?
I don't think the Elite will get this one. I think they still got ways to go before they can get higher up on that totem pole.
Okay. I'm going the other way with you on this because I think by them adding Kota to take on Takeshita, this isn't a joke. This is legit. This is for real. And he needs to come in as the Golden Elite, as they did at their last match and won with the five of them with the Young Bucks. But the Young Bucks have their own match to deal with, so they're not going to be down there. You could see some interference from Bullet Club Gold, but if they keep this a straight-up match, I'm going with the Golden Elite on that one.
All right.
Coffin match: Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and AR Fox. The concept of this is simple. There's a coffin somewhere at ringside. The only way the match ends is if you put one of your opponents in that coffin and shut the lid.
This favors Sting because of his entire career. The presence of him and the matches I've seen him in throughout the earliest stage of his career, from WCW to now. I mean, he might have had a few of these when he was in TNA too. I think this favors Darby and Sting on this one. I can't see them losing this. They have all this momentum behind the audience, behind the whole organization. They're right up there with the top dogs of this foundation. They're not losing this. No way.
Well, we're going to have to see who's going to come out and help Sting and Darby Allin, because I think if this gets too close for them to risk winning it, you're going to see more of the Mogul Embassy show up, because they are going to come out and help Swerve Strickland, because he kind of runs that whole thing now. So he's going to have backup coming down to ringside. I'm curious to see if anybody will help Darby and Sting. Maybe they can handle it on their own. I don't know. Maybe the lights go out and there's a bunch of guys dressed like Sting and they don't know which one it is.
Right.
Maybe they open the coffin and somebody else comes out that helps Darby and Sting. But the coffin's going to come into play with this match before somebody wins it. That's my thought on that one. But I'm taking Darby.
I agree.
And Sting. I'm definitely taking Darby and Sting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we got a couple comments. Yep. Are
they the top dogs?
The top dogs, Bulldogs, and are they British? Yes, there were British Bulldogs on top of the tag team division in a different promotion. And that's why we're on this side of the screen, because we've got the right promotions in line. But nonetheless, we'll cover them in a little bit. AEW Women's World Championship. We've got a fatal four-way.
Yeah, four-way.
Saraya, Hikaru Shida, Toni Storm, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Interesting design in this match. Who you picking and why?
I actually think it might be Britt. You know, she was one of the very first champions of this company, and she had a long run with this. She had a good push. But again, Saraya is known as Paige. She has been champion in a very long time, almost 9 years. A little bit after that, I think. I think it's her turn to be champion. But I could see why it would go to Britt if Tony and the Riders try to put this on her as the way that they finish this match. So I think, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to pick Britt on this one.
Okay. I'm going to make this a double prediction.
Okay.
If Britt Baker wins this title, Cole wins the world title. And they will come out as the It Couple of AEW with gold to challenge the It Couple on WWE.
That's interesting.
But if it's Saraya's homecoming and anyone other than Britt wins this title, MJF is going to keep his title against Adam Cole.
So
between those two matches.
So it's basically kind of like a double-edged sword that you're betting on here.
I'm going to bet the winner of the men's world title match off of the women's title match. If Britt Baker wins it, Cole's going to win it, and they'll be the It Couple. If anyone other than Britt wins it, MJF is going to keep his title. But if someone other than Britt wins it, I'm picking Saraya because it's homecoming for her.
Right.
And I think they're going to give her something, like you said. How do you not put her over in her home stadium? But then again, that's how you get all the English fans aggravated if she doesn't win. And they'll tune in when she does win. So they're not stupid how they put this together. So it's Britt Baker all in. If not, it's Saraya. And that female will dictate which male wins the world championship.
Sure.
Tag team championships for AEW. FTR versus the Young Bucks. The trilogy ends tonight. We've seen these guys fight too many times. And
what a freaking eulogy.
Time. It shouldn't be a trilogy. Right. It should be a eulogy. We need to put this rivalry to death.
Yep, this is it.
Who walks out shaking hands with the titles on their shoulders, Eric?
This is it. For what I know, this is their final match together, kind of like with Reigns and Lesnar. This is it. As it stands right now, Young Bucks are champions still, right? Or is it FTR?
No, it's FTR.
So basically, it's the team that was known as the Revival in WWE. That's basically who FTR is. Cash and Wilder. Okay. I mean, Young Bucks created their own foundation in this business, but so did they. I mean, these are two of the best in the world. What else can I say about them? These are two of the very best in the business today. Counting AEW, WWE, Impact, everybody. These are two of the very best still active in this business. But if I had to put my money down on this and I had to take my bet on one team, I think it's the Young Bucks' turn to grab the ball and run. I think with the problems that Casher had with his personal life regarding FTR, I think that might come into play with Tony. But on the same side, though, I could see them actually retaining on a blind side here. I mean, if it switched many times throughout the eulogy with these guys in the story, would it make sense for it to end with another switch or end with how it is now? For me, it should make sense with the Young Bucks getting this shot. But if they're going to lose to FTR because of Cash's police problems, then I think that's bullcrap. I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be the way it should be in the ring and just decide on who they think are who are they most comfortable with the momentum that they're going to get to handle all the pressure on their shoulders. That's the way I look at it. So I think it's going to be Young Bucks on this one.
Well, if Tony Khan's a Patriots fan, and by the way, we've got some people responding on Facebook posting. Thank you, Ken. I agree. No more FTR. Cash got in trouble. Going with the Young Bucks. This is not a number 2 Doug Flutie jersey.
Nope, it's
number
not.
5. And the trivia question is, who wore number 5 for the Patriots that matches the name on my back? Without Googling it, see if you can guess it. And if you or anyone else submits the answer first on our chat before the end of the episode, then we will give a sponsorship shout out and a promo courtesy of Falls Count Anywhere and our corporate sponsors, Lighthouse Productions, Rhode Island, and Road to Love Wedding Services.
Yes, sir. Or
anyone you know that has a small business, whether it be in Rhode Island or anywhere around the world, we'll give you a shout out because you took time to answer the question. Our question right now is Young Bucks versus FTR. So for me, if Tony Khan, as I said, is thinking about this like a Patriots coach, Belichick, if you screw up, you get benched. Nobody's above the law. Everybody has to sit down if they have their problems. And it cost us a season one year because of something one of our players did. He got benched for the first half, and that's why we lost. But he's going to do that. So if Tony Khan's that way, this is going Young Bucks all the way through.
Yeah.
And it could be a Young Bucks screw job with the Elite because they'll have already fought.
Yeah.
Who else is going to come down and support FTR? If it's the Hardys, they've already fought. And you don't know for sure which way that's going to go.
No, you don't.
I'm looking at it very simply as we need to figure out who the new rivalry is going to be when this is over. And I think on talent alone, FTR should come out on top as the dominant team. But I think because of their ages and their troubles, I think it's going to be like a little Montreal to FTR, and the Young Bucks are going to get the win in a bad way. And there might be a little bit of a turn here with them because Kenny Omega's got these other two, and there might be a tag team winner gets Kenny down the line. We'll have to see what happens. But this could also do something with that faction as well because there's a lot of faction breakups going on right now with JAS, the Bloodline. Who's next? We're not sure. We'll find out. And now the big ones.
The time for the main events.
Adam Cole and MJF first will open the night in their Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship against Aussie Open. So first, will they win those titles? And then will they be tag team champions fighting over the AEW World title? Will the fans continue? Or will something happen with MJF and Adam Cole individually that causes Aussie Open to pick up the win, which creates animosity for the main event? And then this breaks up the bromance no matter who wins the match. 2 matches to predict. What do you think, Eric?
Damn. I mean, this could go either way here.
Start with the tag match.
No, I know. I mean, it really would be cool, though, if they fought against each other as tag team champs. But on the same token, though, could something happen during that match that could twist the knife on one of them, make one of them face or heel, and then it's face and heel down for the title versus two faces. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to predict and say that they're not going to win those titles, strictly because either MJF or Cole is going to do something to stab the other one basically in the back and either be a face or a heel. I mean, that's the way that I look at it, because this is like a double-edged sword. Same thing with Cole and Britt. I mean, if you're going to lose the tag team titles and not even get them, and then you're going to go after each other for the AEW World Championship, I mean, what makes the most sense here? To be honest with you, it's tough. I really don't even think there's even a right answer on this one.
We got you glitched for a minute there. You just stopped. We didn't hear the end of that. So who are you picking in that match?
All right, let me go back then. To be honest, I don't know. I don't even think there's even a right answer on this. I honestly don't think there even is a good answer to even give. I would like them to be champions, but I could see why they wouldn't be if they lost. Like I can't even give an answer on that, because that one to me just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you even have that on at the beginning of the program and then have them finish it off like that? I don't know. Is this like a story that goes beginning to end? I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need your help.
For me, this is how I'm looking at it. Aussie Open is a talented tag team, and if they're strong enough to beat the world champion and the number one contender, who have been winning tag matches left and right, then let them win. That's fine. Yeah. If they were to win, it will not be a straight up win. It will be either a disqualification win because MJF or Cole does something and the ref sees it to get them disqualified, which creates the anger for the title match later on, or it's a match where they will actually take out Aussie Open straight up, and then they'll be bros fighting for the world title. It's a title match, but they're already going to be champions together. Win or lose after this is over, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But I think Aussie Open retains only if Cole and MJF do something to get disqualified, or they do something to each other, like you said, that causes Aussie Open an opening and pick up the win. Now we jump ahead to the world title match. Who are you picking and why?
I think this time it's Cole's turn. I think Cole finally deserves to be world heavyweight champion after all these years of his career. I think it's time for MJF to go down. But on the same token, like you said, I'm looking at this as a double-edged sword. If Cole wins, then I think it should be him and Samoa Joe to unify the titles. But if Punk wins, then I'm going to want that rematch with Punk and MJF. From 2 years ago almost, we had this story begin. If I had it my way, Punk and MJF would finish the story. Two of the most base-voiced, ego-driven, tightest of agendas in the business today, fighting each other to be the real AEW World Champion. That could draw a lot of money. But I think Cole and MJF is drawing money right now. If I had it my way, I want Cole to win. But if he lost, I want to be punking him to unify the titles. 2 belts, 1 AEW champion. Dad, you agree?
Not really.
No?
But for different reasons. Let's go back first to Punk and Samoa Joe. Are you then saying that whoever you think wins that match dictates who wins the world title? Or are you making prediction not based on that?
Absolutely. I think that makes more sense to me.
So if CM Punk wins, you're taking MJF. And if Samoa Joe wins, you're taking Adam Cole. Am I hearing you right then?
Yes.
Okay. So world tag titles aside, doesn't matter whether they win them or lose them, you're basing your prediction off of the Punk Joe match.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to go off the Punk Joe match, and I'm not going to go off the tag team title match. MJF has said from day one, I'm still a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens with MJF to screw them out of the tag team title match, and that diamond ring comes into play for MJF to keep the World Tag Team title. Unless Britt Baker wins the women's title, then I go automatically to Adam Cole. And this is where we're going to take our break, Ron. So if you can start the track, we're going to talk about what's coming up next in the second half of the hour. I'm going to tell you right now where I'm located in Nashville.
Just bear with us, folks. We got some technical difficulties right here, but we're live.
It's my time. I'm going to log off and let WWE, when we come back from this break, and you're going to finish the show, and you're going to take us out. So I'll toss it over to you and take us to break, Eric, and have some fun with it.
Alrighty, sounds good to me, folks. This is my dad, Edward Dunn, the one and only, as we get ready to finish off our week in Nashville together. I'm actually going to explain to you guys at the end kind of also what we're doing to try to finish off our week to make it great. But also, when we do come back, though, WWE, they broke some records, but we got some returns. As it was just announced, there's an update regarding John Cena that literally just came out yesterday morning that sent the WWE Universe, like myself, in an absolute frenzy. Because after being gone since WrestleMania, he is finally wrestling again. This time overseas. So I'll get into that for a little bit. There's also an update regarding this year's WrestleMania coming up at Philly. A record just got broken. I'll explain what that is. I'll also break down what we have on the card currently for Payback. But also on top of that card,
if I'm not here, Eric, reveal the answer to the shirt at the end of the broadcast if no one gets it.
Yep, I got you. And also a little bit of a tribute to Terry Funk and what he brought to WWE in the beginning stages of this company and what he did during the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, and how that foundation became the cornerstone for everybody else in this present era of WWE. So we got Terry Funk, WrestleMania 40 update, a John Cena update, and the current card for Payback, with more to come for next week when we return after this, after a word from Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island and a word from our Rhode Island broadcasting stations. You're watching and listening to False Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network, and I will be right back.
If you're looking for an entertainment company to help you with your event of any kind, feel free to check out Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island. Providence-based company serving all of New England, providing you entertainment needs in the areas of sound, lighting, photo booth, photography, videography, drone videography, monograms, slideshows, and of course, DJ sound. As a special bonus, we also have wedding officiant services through Road to Love Wedding Services in conjunction with Lighthouse Productions to provide you all of your wedding needs. Don't need a wedding? Fantastic. You need music or a reason to have entertainment for a party of any kind? We can handle all budgets and all sizes and all different types of venues. With COVID, there's a 100% money back guarantee for any type of cancellation and rescheduling needs. Check us out at lighthouseproductionsri.com. Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island, your entertainment source for all of New England.
And I think I actually got that timing right on the exit. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to False Count Anywhere. So that was a lot of AEW, and just to give you my opinion on everything with AEW, I mean, the whole night was a good night, but yeah, as my dad and I, Edward Dunn, stated, yeah, we left at midnight. They were still taping Rampage. My guess is they weren't done until after 1 a.m. anyway. I mean, I can only take so much wrestling to last me a lifetime. You know what I mean? Like in one night, like if we got for example, WWE, if it's a live 3-hour Raw and we have main event stuff in the beginning and then a dark match at the end, I'm fine with that. If we have a live 2-hour SmackDown, main event before, dark match after, I can handle that. But I can't handle 4 hours or more of AEW, especially when it comes to Ring of Honor, because I don't watch them. I watch AEW, but I don't watch Ring of Honor. But WWE has been my specialty for a very long time, and it's going to continue to be like that, because not only are they still the superior company of sports entertainment and professional wrestling, but they know what they're doing, and with Triple H running the controls and behind him, there's no way this company's going to hand over the throne anytime soon, especially when the game and the King of Kings is still on it. But yeah, speaking of people that made an impact, I want to get into that first for you guys, and that's Terry Funk. He passed away earlier this morning at the age of 79 years old. He was revered by fans and peers across the globe for his tenacity, heart, and his longevity. Funk will be remembered as one of the toughest competitors to ever step inside of the ring. From WWE to All Japan, from WCW to ECW, he proved he could go toe-to-toe with the best and push the limits of what was possible inside of the square circle. He's the son of Terry Funk Sr. Terry began wrestling in the 1960s, forming a successful tag team with his brother and fellow WWE Hall of Famer Dory Funk Jr., the Funkin' Dojos. Before breaking out as a single star in December of '75, he broke through when he defeated Jack Briscoe to capture the NWA World Heavyweight title in Miami. Funk first competed in 1985 during the height of the rock and wrestling era alongside his brother. They appeared at WrestleMania 2, defeating the team of Tito Santana and the Junkyard Dog. The next stop was WCW in 1989, where he engaged in a legendary rivalry with Nature Boy Ric Flair, which culminated in an I Quit match that is still, to this day, considered an all-time classic. He had an impact all around the world during his career, particularly in Japan, where he became one of the most beloved legends of the All Japan Pro Wrestling promotion alongside his brother Dory. Later, he was an innovator of hardcore wrestling alongside WWE Hall of Famer hardcore legend Mick Foley. The two brought the infamous style to a worldwide audience through to a 1995 tournament where they battled in the finals, brawling through tables, chairs, barbed wire, and more. He also was an instrumental figure of ECW in the growth. Although he was in his 50s at the time, Funk proved himself against the younger hardcore competitors of the Renegade promotion. When ECW presented his first pay-per-view, barely legal in April of '97, it was Funk who headlined it, defeating Raven to win the ECW World Heavyweight title. He returned to WWE as Chainsaw Charlie, the deranged partner of Cactus Jack, and played a key role in the iconic Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Mankind. At nearly 60 years of age, his return to WCW in 2000, Funk was far from finished in the title picture, capturing the United States title and WCW Hardcore title. The last match of Funk's WWE career was a 1-9 stand when he teamed against Tommy Dreamer and Belula McGillicuddy against Mick Foley, Edge, and Lita. Wow. So think about that for a second, right? He died at 79 years old. So 2006 was 17 years ago. He was 63. He was almost 63. He was 62 when he was still going at it. Funk left his imprints on Hollywood as well, with a number of appearances on the big screen, including roles in Roadhouse, Paradise Alley, and Over the Top. In recognition of nearly 50 years of sports entertainment, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame of WWE alongside his brother in 2009 by the late Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, guys. I mean, this is 100% a legend in WWE. This is a legend in ECW, WCW. But you have to understand this too. I look at this like Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. The guy's still in his 70s and he's still wrestling. Like, Terry Funk is one of those guys that proved age is just a number. That's the way I look at it. Age is just a number when it comes to wrestling and in the world of sports and entertainment. So, we definitely wish the whole family well, the Funk family. I know that the Funkin' Dojos, they trained a lot of legends. One of them that I remembered that trained one of the best legends and one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of this business, not just WWE, but I'm talking about maybe ECW, TNA. It's the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. He was the first guy that came to mind, because I remembered his Hall of Fame speech when he got inducted 6 years ago into WWE's Hall of Fame. And, he was talking about the Funkin' Dojos and where he would be if he didn't have them. And, I mean, trust me when I tell you, a lot of the old-timers that trained the wrestlers that we saw now and before them, it created the foundation of where WWE is, not just as a company, but as a wrestling entity. And I think it's just really cool when you look back on that and you just see just the legends come pouring out like that. And so that's definitely a big loss for the organization, for WWE and Terry Funk. But speaking of WrestleMania, because I just talked about that with Funk's eulogy there, WrestleMania 40 actually broke a record. WrestleMania 40 broke WWE's all-time gate record in one day. Listen to this, guys. So as we know, WrestleMania is going to be at the home of Liberty Bell in Philly. So it was announced that WrestleMania 40 broke the company's all-time gate record in just 24 hours. The previous total gross record was $21.6 million, set earlier this year at this past WrestleMania at SoFi Stadium in LA. WrestleMania 40, which takes place at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philly on Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th, sold more than 90,000 tickets when it went on sale last Friday. The record came on the heels of the unprecedented ticket sales demand for WWE in 2023, which to this date has reduced the highest grossing gates of all time for premium live events such as SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Money in the Bank. SummerSlam, which emanated from Ford Field in Detroit earlier this month, generated a record gate of 8.5 million, the largest gate for any non-WrestleMania event ever in the company's history. Additionally, On Location has sold more fan experience packages for WrestleMania 40 than all of WrestleMania 39 and broke the all-time revenue record for a single WWE event in this area. Wow. I mean, see, this is just an example I have to tell you about why WWE is still the number one company. With all due respect to Tony Khan, he's doing great things with AEW, but AEW will never have the numbers WWE will. It will take them decades and decades to even catch up with those numbers. But you know what, though? Congratulations to them. They sold out Wembley, 80,000 people. They're calling it the largest pro wrestling event ever. Well, I think WrestleMania, in my opinion, it's sports entertainment, but it's still pro wrestling. I mean, WrestleMania is the biggest, and you'll never beat it. You'll never beat WrestleMania. I don't care who you are. But hopefully with AEW, they will deliver over in Wembley, because that's a lot of pressure on their shoulders to perform in London in front of 80,000 people. But speaking of who's going to be returning, here's the update on John Cena. And for those of you that have been following me for 10 episodes, you guys know I am a huge John Cena fan. I'm one of the biggest. And, you know, I was so happy when I heard this. And this is the update on Cena. So it was first announced by Fox Sports, the greatest of all time, John Cena. He will be appearing on next Friday's edition of SmackDown, September 1st, and he'll also take part in the WWE Superstar Spectacle in India on the following Friday. The 16-time world champion and international film star has made several memorable recent appearances in WWE, where he mixed it up with the likes of then Bloodline allies Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller. What will happen when Cena makes his long-anticipated return back to the live blue brand? And so for those looking for more information on that, it will be next Friday night, SmackDown, 8/7 Central, live on Fox. And next week, when we have episode number 11, I'll have more updates for you on Cena when it comes to that. But that's a cool thing with Cena, though. There's still a lot of questions right now regarding how is Cena going to finish his career. He's not a Grand Slam champion yet. He needs to win the Intercontinental title to do that. He's one world title away from breaking the all-time record held by Ric Flair at 16, because he's tied with him. There's a rumor going around that he actually might be Grand Slam champion at this year's WrestleMania and take it away from Gunther. Do I think that'd be great? Absolutely. But I mean, I'm hoping that they'll actually give Cena more than what he needs. I mean, he doesn't deserve to be going out on to open WrestleMania and then lose to Austin Theory. A lot of people wanted Theory to lose. I'm glad it's Rey Mysterio, but it should have been Cena. I think that would have been a great idea to have Cena be champion, have him be off of his films and his projects, And also, unfortunately, speaking of Cena returning, there's still no news on Randy Orton yet, and it looks to me like he's not where he needs to be yet, and that's a damn shame. And also, speaking of SmackDown, this also has to do with Cena too. The Rated R Superstar Hall of Famer Edge, I believe he is officially done for good with his entire career in WWE and his professional career. That this past Friday night on SmackDown, he had a first-time ever match against Sheamus. He won, and I believe he is done because his contract actually expires the end of this month, and that match was in Toronto. I think he's done. And you know what? There's no better way for him to go out. He's 50 years old, done everything you can do under the sun. And I know he's not going anywhere with WWE. He's not going anywhere. And, I think Edge had an amazing career. He's one of the greatest to ever be in that ring. It was a pleasure to see him wrestle as a fan. It honestly was. It forever will be. But that's the updates I have for you guys on that. There's also one more update I have for you regarding the Beast Brock Lesnar. It looks to me like he's going to be coming back for the Royal Rumble. I believe that he is long gone until then. Jey Uso, not sure what's happening with him. I believe he's gone from WWE for good. Some people think it's kayfabe until he comes back at the Rumble, and it's going to be him and Jimmy for WrestleMania. I don't know. Maybe Jey just needed a break. I'll also give you guys updates on what happened at this Friday Night SmackDown on next week's broadcast of Pulse Count Anywhere as well. And yes, he was on the edge of greatness. Edge was. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that comment there. And so as we're wrapping up this broadcast here, let me get into Payback. Now, there isn't a lot with Payback right now because the card is still trying to get figured out. Payback is live in 10 days from the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, live on Peacock. And, this is the current card we have right now for Payback. It's not a big card. There's only 3 matches so far. But this is what we have currently right here. So I'm just going to go in order. So it is for the women's world title. It's Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. And just so you know, this is the current card I'm looking at right now for Payback. This is the current card.
If you're looking for an entertainment company to help you with your event of any kind, feel free to check out Lighthouse Productions, Rhode Island. Providence-based company serving all of New England, providing you entertainment needs in the areas of sound, lighting, photo booth, photography, videography, drone videography, monograms, slideshows, and of course, DJ sound. As a special bonus, we also have wedding officiant services through Road to Love Wedding Services in conjunction with Lighthouse Productions to provide you all of your wedding needs. Don't need a wedding? Fantastic. You need music or a reason to have entertainment for a party of any kind? We can handle all budgets and all sizes and all different types of venues. With COVID, there's a 100% money back guarantee for any type of cancellation and rescheduling needs. Check us out at lighthouseproductionsri.com. Lighthouse Productions, Rhode Island, your entertainment source for all of New England.
This one too. Do I have sound anywhere? Do I have sound? This one too. Okay, do you have sound? Okay, I don't know what's going on. But unfortunately, where we are at our hotel, our Wi-Fi to do. Just so what's going on here. Help it. Okay, there it levels back. Okay. I had to use a hotspot, and we're trying to get this stuff. But real quick, those are all the match now. Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight title. Ripley and Rodriguez for the Women's World title, and it's going to be the grudge match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus in a steel cage. I'll have updates for you guys for this week's SmackDown and Raw coming up. And that's going to be what we're going to be doing for next week's broadcast. So for next week's broadcast, it's simply just going to be the preview for Payback. And I'll have the full card ready for you guys as well. And we'll be able to organize everything to get ready for that event. Hopefully, we'll have more updates regarding Wembley for AEW's All In. And my dad should be able to join me again for next week. But as of right now, you guys will be seeing me still. And, we're still here. Regarding all difficulties and all that, we're still here. So that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here. On behalf of the man behind the scenes, Ron Rugo, my dad, Edward Dunn, saying so long and thank you from our broadcast location for just this week in the home of country music, Music City, USA, as known as Nash-ville, Tennessee. This has been a presentation of Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Next week at 5, guys. See us there. Tune in with us. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as Red Circle, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and TuneIn Podcast. And thank you all so much once again for your patience and for watching and listening.